I think after that first quarter, making sure that we're not helping too much and not letting them get those easy threes off. They're a really good 3-point shooting team, so making sure that those are all hard. And I think we did a good job of making that adjustment.
Fee, why does this team just work so well in adversity with all the pieces that they put around you?
I think we just have a lot of experience. We have people who have been in, playoff run situations. We are all, a little bit older in a sense that like we have the experience of hard games. We've been tried and tested, and especially last year we went through this and we have our core team back. So, like Coach said, resilience is something that we've been, preaching about for the last 2 years. That we have, it's just one of our strengths. So it's really like makes it a really fun team to play with, where it doesn't matter what the score is, up or down. We know that we stay pretty even and that we can, make it through any tough waters.
What kind of a spark did Napheesa provide? And it's not really a surprise to you guys at this point, I assume.
Yeah, I think this like she's on a heater right now. The last 5 games, and that's just who T is. She's one of those people we're talking about who has been with finals contender teams. She knows who she is as a pro, and throughout the season, you've just seen her kind of continue to evolve. And now, when we need her the most, she's showing up and showing out and having a lot of fun and playing with a lot of confidence. In that second group, her and Jess are just they have a really great chemistry, and when they get going, we're a really hard team to beat.
Could either of you talk about the points in the paint tonight? You had a 44-18 advantage, and just want to know your thoughts about your post players.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of everybody. I think a big part of it, too, is us getting out in transition and getting stops. I think that's a large portion of us getting those points in the paint, too. That's who we want to be. Obviously, Feed, Land, Jess, they're all doing their thing. Courtney's getting in there. Myself, I got a couple in the lane. And when we're able to do that and get them in the paint, that's when our three ball opens up. And I thought we shot better over the last couple games. So it was really good. I mean, and that's just the balance and the versatility that we have as a group. We know what they're going to do, and we're able to adjust in a lot of different ways.
How do you keep this momentum going into game 2 to try to finish it out there and not come back here?
I think not getting complacent. Like, no one on this team thinks that this is going to be an easy game by any means. We know it's going to be a fight. They all work really, really hard. That's been a staple of their team this entire season, and their home crowd is really great. So it's going to be a really tough game, and we have to make sure that we come with our game, A game, especially on defense.
VT is probably going to be talked about a lot with, her plus minus being at 32 today, but Lan also had a plus minus of 31 and was really kind of the anchor inside. Just how impactful is Lan to you guys when she's playing like this?
So impactful. I mean, I think she's the defensive player of the year. The way that she's able to guard post players, guards. She didn't have any blocks today, but she has blocks every game. Just the impact that she has, especially on the defensive end, is so huge and crucial for our team. Like, she is the anchor. Like you said, we rely on her so heavily on that end of the floor, especially. And so, we wouldn't be where we are without her.
And then K-Mac, it seemed like Dejanay came out in the second half and just kind of gave an all-new level of energy for you guys. Just how nice was it having Dejanay back out there to kind of spell you guys in the backcourt?
Yeah, I've said this since she got with us. It's a luxury, to have somebody of her caliber and somebody who's been in those types of environments, playoff teams, her experience and just her competitiveness. And very versatile. You can put her on the point guard. You can put her on the bigger guard. It doesn't matter. And it helps myself and Bridge a lot in us able to get, even Courtney, us able to kind of switch up the defenses and then allow us to move a little bit differently on offense. And she's willing, and I think that's the biggest thing. She's just a competitor. She wants to win just as bad as all of us. So when you add somebody like that into the mix, it's a perfect match.
Last one for me. I mean, Courtney had another kind of highlight block in the third quarter. Just how impressive is it that your point guard's going out there and getting kind of poster blocks?
Courtney is like really sneaky athletic. She can jump really high, and I don't know why. I played with her for 2 years, but it surprises me every time. So it's super fun when Courtney's getting out there, getting rebounds, blocks, just showing like that dog in her. So it's really fun when that happens.
Oh, yeah. Kayla, you really got things going in the second quarter and stuff like that because they were trailing you on those screens, but you showed that you could turn the corner on them and everything like that and finish at the rack. Like, was that one of those things? Were you expecting them to come out that way and guard you that way, or was it just something that kind of came organically?
Yeah, I mean, I looked when we just played these guys literally last game, so just seeing where I could make it a little bit easier rather than just trying to get the three ball. I just want to be able to do things for us 3 levels, and just getting to the rim. I think that opens everything else up when I'm able to get to the rim and, being more versatile on the offensive end. But yeah, I mean, just trying to mix it up and continue to make the defense have to work and do different things other than just guard me at 3-point line.
I mean, I think I think both teams are aggressive and physical. I thought at halftime it was clear that there was a conversation around, and I asked one of the officials, "What did you guys talk about halftime?" Because it clearly changed, and they said they just wanted to get the obvious fouls. So I had to go back and look at the video because both teams are physical. Do you get called for every foul? No, I mean that's not possible for them either. So I mean I understand it, but it's playoffs, and obviously we fouled a lot at the end, but I didn't think that was the factor in the game though.
Coach, you had mentioned on Thursday wanting to, get a little bit better in the want-to areas, rebounding and things like that to win the rebounding battle 36-26 today and 9-3 on the offensive boards. How do you feel they adjusted to those want-to areas?
I mean, that loose, like they were talking about it. They understood loose balls, the 50-50s, control what we can control, make sure that we weren't going to get out-efforted. And I thought we largely did a good job in that space, and that's saying something because, I mean, their pursuit of possessions is high. So if we ever didn't give maximum effort, they won the possession. And so I thought we did pretty well in that space because it was absolutely a point of emphasis.
And Dejanay doesn't come in until the second half, but when she does, obviously her energy felt everywhere. Just how did you feel about her minutes today, and did you get the impact that you hope to see from Nay in those spots?
We did. I kind of screwed up in the first half. I missed a chance to get her in there, and then I didn't like what we had going. And so, we said, we wanted to make sure that it happened in the second half. So we needed to see where she was actually at. And Nay would be able to tell you more, but I thought she looked good. She was pretty locked in on what she was trying to get done. And, she's always impactful when she plays.
Congrats on the win, Coach.
Thanks.
44 points in the paint tonight for the Lynx. Valkyries are one of the best kind of paint defense teams in the league. Just how were you guys able to be so effective around the basket?
Well, each team is trying to make choices about what you can live with. And a lot of time our three-point shooting leads you to that choice. And, we were effective at taking what was being given to us. And, it's a dilemma. And we have the same dilemma for them. That's why they had a 28-point first quarter. And, that's largely what led to our success in there.
And then, Cheryl, I just want to say I love the message on your T-shirt. Could you speak on that a little bit today?
It's pretty simple. Women should be wherever decisions are being made. It's pretty simple. That's I think that's common sense, diversity of thought. And, that's the way it should be. You're welcome.
Hey, Coach, just want to ask you about the job you guys did on Veronica Burton. She had 7 turnovers. She's usually one of the best assist-to-turnover ratio players in the game. So what was working defensively on her?
Oh, she's a handful. She's a handful. I think she's so impactful for the team in her ability to score the basketball herself in different ways. Really, hit us with a couple threes early, and we were twisted. We were twisted early, and we settled in. Finally, found our footing, and I thought our post players were terrific. We weren't perfect, but we were really locked in on some of the schemes that we were trying to get done, and so made it harder for her for sure. But we understand that that's not a player that's going to stay down for long.
Hey, Coach. Napheesa Heidemann had I think the second highest plus-minus in postseason history for your franchise, 18 points tonight. Just what does she do so well, especially against the Valkyries? It feels like the last 2 times you guys played them, she's had these type of moments. Yeah,
I think it's more of a coincidence on the Valkyries' part. It's just the time of year that when T really kind of got to a different space, is playing at a different level. And it just so happened that Golden State was a couple of those games. She changed the game today. She changed the game last time. we played, and she's just playing her best basketball this season. She's confident. Her decision making in their pick and roll coverages. She's doing a nice job freezing the post player a little bit about where to go. She seeks the paint well, and her play, particularly in the first half, was vital to us kind of getting through that a little bit slower first quarter.
Hi there. What do you think your team does well to not unravel when you're down early like that and they come out and punch you first?
Yeah, I think experience. I think they're mature. They still go through being disappointed in themselves, but it doesn't last long. And they're a collective in their belief in each other, and so they do a good job picking each other up. And we say it all the time, it's a long game. The first quarter, there's still so much more that's going to happen. And I think that wisdom that the crew has gained along the way, I think applies there.
First quarter, they were 5 for 8 for 3-pointers. The rest of the game, 4 for 23. What did you like about your perimeter defense tonight?
After the first quarter, I like that we were understanding actually what Golden State's identity is, shooting threes. In the first quarter, it was like we didn't have an idea of what they like to do in their draw and kicks, and they played an outnumbered floor a lot in the first quarter. And so big misses for us in terms of what we were should be focused on. Both teams don't want the other one to take threes. That's pretty simple. And it gets harder and harder and harder to find a three. And, that was our improvement in that space sort of led to obviously better outcomes for us once we got that shored up.